Thank you very much. This next question will be directed at Mr. Woods first. Protection and safety for my family is the #1 priority for me. What will you do to ensure that will be covered in future budgets?
We would have to work with the county commissioner. We would have to work with the sheriff's department and the fire and EMS to ensure that we had safety for each and every one who lives in this county. And there again, going back to and working with them, doing their budgets, you know, do whatever we can as commissioners to help those departments. Thank you.
One thing we have in the department, the EMS side of it, would be for everybody to vote for a 1-cent sales tax in November, especially the EMS side of it, because that's your ambulance that comes picks you up when you're broke down or hurt, or your loved one is badly hurt. You get anything in the world, but get ambulance there as soon as you can. The fire department, the same way. We have a fire tax. That's an ongoing tax. Support there is always essential. If you ever had a house burned down, or your friend's house, or your parents, you know exactly what that means about a fire assessment. The sheriff's department, we need to house them in any way we can, give them their needs, but also keep a, I guess you want to call it, tight ring on them. When you call these people, you want everybody in the county to show up. So we need support them every way we can.
As I mentioned before, this is a very emotional issue for me because I have a family here, you have families here, and the one thing that when you have an emergency, you want people there to take care of you. The thing that scares me the most is when you start to ask your public safety, your police and your fire to cut their budgets down to a bare minimum. A couple things happen that I think most people aren't aware of, is that your insurance premiums on your home and on your business are calculated on a numerical scale by your police and fire coverage. So if you start to reduce those services, you're going to see it go the other direction, because I will guarantee you these insurance companies are waiting at the door of the Public Service Commission to hammer you when they find out that you've reduced your coverages. I only ask any of you that read the Okeechobee News to look at the blotter in there, the police blotter, and what Sheriff May has to deal with on a day-to-day basis, trying to keep this county safe. And you open up and look, and to tell him that he has to go and cut people, cut their budget, that's a pretty difficult job to do. Same with the fire service. It's an awesome responsibility, and I can speak firsthand to this. When you know every decision you make, every day you go to work, can mean the difference of your career, your pension, your family. If you make the wrong decision, if you shoot somebody that may have a cell phone in their pocket and pulling it out, that's the end of you. Or if you inject a drug in somebody's arm that takes that person's life, that's the end of your career. We need to be sure that this responsibility, it's not so much as what you do, it's what you know when you're training. Yeah, there are people think that a fireman sit up there all day playing cards. Well, I got news for you. I spent 21 years in the fire service. I never picked up a deck of cards. We trained, we went out, we surveyed. Because if we have a call at night, the first important thing to do, and I know I'm running out of time, I'm sorry. I don't mean to drag on. But these are important things to all of our families, and we have to be sure we don't touch those. They are the sacred cow. Thank you.
Again, we don't tell the sheriff what positions that he has or doesn't have. But second off, I think when you strip away everything else from any government, whether it's here in Okeechobee or in Montana, doesn't make much difference. The basic services that a local government provides are fire and police protection. You get rid of everything else, the libraries, the ball fields, the boat ramps, the roadside mowing. Those are the things that you have to preserve. Right now, we're in a tough position. It's like I said before, it's taking 100% of the ad valorem property taxes raised from the people in Okeechobee County to fund our sheriff's department. That's unsustainable, especially when you look at an era when we've got declining property values, and that are projected to go out for another 4 years. That's one of the reasons we looked at some of these alternative forms of funding, the EMS, the MSTU, the franchise fees. None of those have been enacted, but you have to look out of the box, because if we keep doing the same things over and over, we can't expect any different outcome. I wouldn't really worry about that too much. Again, when you strip everything else away, I think anybody up here understands that the basic thing that you're providing is police and fire protection.
Well, I agree with my colleagues up here is that on my opportunity, I've been out talking to a lot of the public. Public safety has been the number one thing in their mind. They do not want to lose. And when you talk about public safety, I think that also you have to really realize what these folks go through. But my son is a narcotics undercover narc detective in Jacksonville, so I go up and ride with them. I've ridden with the sheriff's deputies here, and so I kind of have an understanding of what those folks go through with. Noel talked about a sales tax. I don't know if people really understood that, but that sales tax covers everybody that comes through it, transits, people who don't pay real estate taxes. And what we end up having right now, you have somebody that gets hurt in the middle of town, that's driving through town, that's an expense to you, the taxpayer, that is not recoverable. And I believe that the point that Noel was making here is if you take a look at how that tax would be beneficial, of a 1 cent sales tax, that would be helpful in terms of maintaining some of the control, or some of the services that we need in this particular community. Thank you.
I think that question got old. What was it?
Oh, I'm sorry, I just...
No, you're fine. It was...
What protection and safety for my family is the #1 priority for me. What will you do to ensure that will be covered in the future budgets?
Okay. Well, my philosophy is, the most important job any government can provide is the preservation of life, liberty, and property of the citizens of this county. Nobody does that better than the sheriff's office, the fire rescue, EMS. These positions have to be fully funded, and you can't, go to them for cuts like you would any other function of government. So, my philosophy is, keep these fully funded where they can provide what a government's supposed to provide. Thank you.